Hey everybody, just wanted to give a quick video tutorial of the Mamiya m645j body, medium format 6 by 4.5, using 120 or 220 film depending on your film insert. And I have coupled to it the 80mm 1.9 lens, which is actually the reason that I got into the Mamiya 645 system. I know a lot of people out there love the depth of field and fast apertures provided by that 1.9, which is a rarity among medium format. It's usually compared with the Carl Zeiss 80mm f2, which is paired with a Contax body, which costs probably 3 or 4 times as much as this system. But I just wanted to show you the way the system works. The only video I saw on YouTube at the recording of this video was a film loading video, and I thought that would be it wasn't very informative for those looking to get into the system. So the m645j model is one of the, I think, 3 older models made by Mamiya that don't have removable film backs, which means that you can't change your film mid-roll. Some of the newer models, like the Super, the Pro, the Pro TL, have removable backs, where this portion here on back is removable. You can insert a film insert, and say you go from outside to inside and you want to change the sensitivity of your film. For example, this is 400, the ASA. If you're going inside, you can change it mid-roll. This one you have to finish out the roll before you change lighting situations, extreme lighting situations. So here's a tutorial of the system. You have shutter speed here on the left side of the body. This is what you use when you have a non-metered prism finder. This is a metered prism, meaning that you can test exposure, so that's what that dot symbol there is for. You set it there, and that overrides this control and moves it to this control, which is on the prism, which is your shutter speed here, which ranges from 8 seconds here all the way to 1,000. Now the 645j model, the fastest shutter speed this body is capable of is 500. So I believe when you set it to 1,000, it defaults to 500, but I just never use 1,000, obviously. You change your film sensitivity here. Pull out this knob and twist it. The ranges from 25 to 6400. I don't think you can probably read that, but I usually shoot, well, I haven't been doing it for too long, but I usually shoot Kodak portrait film. Right now I've got 160 in there. So for those unfamiliar with medium format photography, the bodies are completely interchangeable. Your lens is removable. Obviously, like all SLR systems, you press this button and there's a place on the lens to just twist it off. This roll has, I have a roll in here that's been finished, but and obviously even if I remove the lens, you could, it wouldn't be a problem because it's still sealed by the shutter. The film is light sealed. That's how you remove it, pretty simple. You line up the red dots here and twist it just like any other regular bayonet mount SLR. You can see here your aperture ring is connected to your metered prism through this mechanical coupling right here. You can see the pin attached to the aperture ring. This button here on the side is to test your exposure. That uses the battery in the bottom of the body here, 6-volt battery, and then uses the light coming through the lens to meter the situation. And like I said, this is a metered prism. You can get non-metered prisms. This is different than most modern SLRs, especially the digitals. But the medium format is common to have a removable viewfinder, and you remove that by twisting this knob and pushing in. That's what it looks like. So if you, for example, were buying just the body, it would come just the body. This is what you'd be buying, just that portion. Let's see what else is relevant? So this is like I said, this is a metered prism. You can get a non-metered, and there's a couple different types of metered prisms. I think this is a silicone, one that uses a silicone element, which is, I think, more reliable. The m645j, like I said, goes to 500 up to 1/500th shutter speed. That's a top shutter speed. Another thing that it removed from the other models, it does not have a mirror lockup, which I've found to not be a problem. I've shot even handheld at 1/15th indoors, and those, you wouldn't want to blow up the images to like an 8x10 or something, but they work well for a 4x6 or a similar size print. Another thing they removed, there was a shutter release button located here on the other models, the M645 and on the 1000S models. So you only have one shutter release, which is down here, and there's a shutter lock button as well, to prevent you from accidental shutter fire, which I've done a few times. There's a battery test button here. When you hold it down, on the other side of the body you see a green light come on if your battery's good. Okay, I'll just show you real quick how the film changing works. This is a little bit tricky. You have to push this in, and then you can slide the top lever here, and your container's exposed. Squeeze the buttons and pull out your film holder. This is a 220 film holder, meaning you can get 30 shots on a roll with this body. With 120, with just the same film, just half as long, you would be able to get 15. So you remove the film, fold before sealing, fold this under, and then lick this portion just like an envelope. Your film is taped down, ready to be sent in to get developed. Here's a new roll. This is a roll of 400 Portra. Once you do this once, it's pretty straightforward. First, I should probably move the former film rolls spool over to the end, the take-up side. So this will be your take-up side now. And when you install a new roll and expose the whole roll, the film will be moved around along the back. And the old roll, which came on your new, or the new roll, which came on your new film, will become the take-up reel for your next roll. So you just put this little leader in there, wind it by hand. I like to keep a little tension on this because this moves freely. If it moves too much, you can see that the film back here will not remain tight, and I think that might affect the flatness of your film when it's being shot. So just ease it around until you see start mark for standard cameras. You can see there's a start mark right there in red on the holder. About right. Squeeze the buttons here on each side of 220. Put it until it clicks. Close it up. And here's your film counter. It's marked on S now. You just wind it around until you get to 1, and then you're ready to go. And it stopped there. We're ready to shoot. Let's keep the lock on so I don't accidentally fire.